Okay. Wait for everybody to come in here, guys. We're just going to get set up. Where's my channel? My channel right there. Boom. There we go. We're going to get started here in a few minutes, guys. Hello, Jordan. How are you? Stayed awake, huh? You made it. Yep, you did. Just going to wait a couple more minutes for some other people to jump on here, and we'll get started. Still got about 2 minutes. Just for me. Very good. Very good. Sure. Jordan, what's this? You're saying pops up on there. And then we can hide it. We'll still see a shadow. See the hat that I'm wearing? Those of you up in the Northeast don't understand that hat. Well, well, well. You should know what the hat is. All right, everybody, we're going to get started. If you guys all come in here, make sure you hit that like button. It helps out with the algorithm with YouTube. Let you also know when I'm putting other content or videos out, or when I'm doing another live stream, which we're going to try and keep these live streams going, minus last week, for at least every Saturday at 8:30 Eastern Time PM. So come and join me if you guys want to. But make sure every time you're on, you hit that like button. But I am Ken from K-Flan, the Railfan. Welcome to blog number 4 for January 30th, 2021. For those of you guys who were looking for me last week, I apologize for last week. I just started my new job and I was quite tired, so I didn't make it on here. But it was an exciting week. Got into it. It's going to be back in the workforce. I got a job with the National Park Service, which is pretty good. And federal employee now, something I've always wanted to do. But that's where I was last week. So just in case anybody was wondering where I was at, there you go. But this week was pretty good. We're going to start off. I did some Railfan this week. I got a tip that there was a heritage union coming through Valley Forge this past week. And I actually got down there to catch it, and I actually was able to catch it without having to run from the top of the hill down to the old Reading station at Valley Forge, right there by President Washington's or General Washington's headquarters. But it was a good catch. We were able to catch the Southern Heritage Union number 8099. It's an ES44 type locomotive. But give you a show here. That's her. We cut our Valley Forge on the 28th of January. She came through on a train, NS train. It's called 24Z. It was basically a small intermodal train. It wasn't that big. It had 2 other units on the back side of it too. I'll show you some more. She got closer. But for those of you that don't know, Norfolk Southern back in the early 2012 painted up all its newer engines, or its new order of engines that they received in the railroads that pretty much formed Norfolk Southern. So there's a Lehigh Valley, there's a Lackawanna, there's an Erie, there's a New York Central, there's this Southern one, Virginia, Illinois Terminal. There's 20 in total. And one of the other ones that came with that set, which is painted in normal Norfolk Southern colors, is the number 2030. And its number boards are actually 2012 or 2002 to 2012. One of those two on the top. That is, in fact, a Heritage type unit. But this is the one we caught, which was pretty neat. I think this is my 10th or 12th Heritage unit that I was able to catch. Avery said, "Hey, what's up, Cotton Candy?" I'm doing all right, Avery. And the hat for you guys up in the Northeast that don't know, that don't want to try it. This is the former Wilkes-Barre Red Barons hat. They were the former Phillies affiliate that used to be up in the Scranton area, and the Phillies moved their guys closer to them down in Allentown area, and now they have the Rail Riders, which is the New York Yankees minor league team. But the Red Barons will always be my team. I'll just show you a couple more here that were on this train, and then we'll move on to our next piece of information. This is another ES44 straight Norfolk Southern engine. And same with that one. These are all modern day type locomotives that the Norfolk Southern had. But I hope you guys enjoyed that one. But yeah, that was a good catch. Where I was at for that, like I mentioned in the beginning, I was at Valley Forge National Historic Site at the old train station they have there. Midwest Coast Railfan, how you doing tonight? Glad to see you join us. Everybody, at the end of this, we do have a little trivia. Haven't had a game or a little trivia game in a while. Midwest, if you want to go back later on and check this out, I just rolled through the pictures we have. I caught the Southern Heritage unit, number 8099. We did a little rail fanning. But that's what we did this week. There was another Norfolk Southern train that came through that day, and it was something very unique. It actually came through long hood first, and it's something that you don't see very often. But the lead engine was a SD70 Ace long hood. And I'm going to take a drink from my nice Yeti here. No, I'm not being sponsored by anybody. Maybe I'll get some not sponsors, advertisers for our coolers. Yeti, nice and cold, keeps you nice and icy. Being smart. See, there's Yeti. Norfolk Southern Railfan, how you doing? Good to see you too. And Trisha, I had to delete those things. You can't have that kind of stuff in the chats. It's just straight talking with people. But we'll move on to our next segment, guys. Norfolk Southern, like I mentioned, the Midwest. You guys came a little bit later. You only missed about 5 minutes or so of the chat. If you want to go back, posted some pictures that caught the Southern Heritage Unit. But our next piece of news that we have here today is something from out of the Baltimore Railroad Museum, which was, I just found this out today. But this will be for you guys. There it is. So the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad Museum, they just finished refurbing this EA number 51. I didn't see in the thing that it was brought to operations, but it is cosmetically restored from what I've seen, and it is going to be placed inside the roundhouse on display all the way through February. So if you're in the Baltimore area or you want to go down to see that museum, it's going to be down there. So go and check it out. But it's pretty neat. Another historic diesel is back up, or at least back up, cosmetically restored. But it's a 1937. It was built by the Electromotive, and it was one of the first streamlined diesel electric locomotives, which is pretty neat. And this is, again, was on the site from that railfan.com, so you guys could read this if you'd like to. But that's another one for us history people. Norfolk Southern Railfan, it's when they refurbed it, it was already refurbished up to oil. Last year when it was running, that was all oil. It didn't have coal. But that's a nice looking locomotive. It's number 51. Get down to the Baltimore Railroad Museum and go check it out. Hope you guys enjoy it. Our next one that we have up here. These are just little thingies here. Let me get back to my stream here. Chrome. So there's a lot going on. Yep, that was a Streamliner unit. So there's a lot of news that's been coming out lately from the East Broad Top. And this, and again, is another one on Rail News. They are refurbing, it's in the article, they are refurbing just number 14 and number 16. Those are the two that is going to be refurbished to running order. It's been a year now. This foundation, since they took over, has been doing great to bring this organization back up and running. Hopefully this year I can get out to Warbisonia and go check out this operation. There's a lot that's going on. I mentioned in my last stream that I did, number 14's drivers were moved up to Strasburg Railroad, where they're being worked on. There's a foundry where number 16's coal tender is being completely rebuilt, and they're rebuilding it to the original plans and blueprints. There's a foundry just outside of Hollidaysburg, pretty much close to where East Broad Top's at, where that's being refurbished. And they're still planning on number 16 to be the first one. And it's in the article again here. They're still planning on number 16 being the first one up and running when they get everything going. But they've also got their track all cleared out of all the rubbish and brush all the way up to Colgate Grove, out to the way out there, and that's about as far as the railroad's going to be running. So they're planning on running the trains all the way out there eventually. But this summer, they're planning on running a lot of their diesel trains out to there on excursions for people this year. So get out there and help these guys out and donate your time, money, and buy some tickets to help get this place back on track and running with everybody. But that's East Broad Top. And this article that I got was done by an MT Burkhart. And if you guys want to, go to that railfan.com site and you can read the information or the article. But they're doing a lot of track work out there. They're working a lot on cars and everything. That's nice. Partly in the article here, it says in late December, the East Broad Top Foundation received $1.4 million grant from Pennsylvania's Redevelop Assistance Capital Program. The funds are going to be used to retire a portion of the mortgage held by the previous owner and pay for several preservation and construction projects. So that's pretty neat. Then, as we mentioned, they're already on the way of working on those 2 locomotives, and they are getting they're getting all their track work done as well. And this article is posted on January 26th of 2021. You guys like that one? And again, you can all find these this information on railfan.com, which I showed you guys a couple weeks ago. There are other locomotives, like I said last year when I did this. They're only planning on doing 2 steam locomotives, and those are the 2 that they picked. There's nothing else, according to the guy that's in charge. I forget his name. He said that's it. There's nothing more else coming and nothing more on the slate right now. So it's just 14 and number 16 that are going to be the steam locomotives refurbished. And for those of you that don't know, those steam locomotives are they're narrow gauge, so they're not the regular standard gauge trains that you see all over the place up here. So they're a little bit narrower than the rest of the railroads in the U.S. Beautiful. Is that a streamliner? Yep. Okay. Midcoast Railfan, since you're up that way, have you seen a lot of the articles that have been posted about the Pan Am Railway and CSX? I guess there's a lot of people that are hurt or griping over CSX possibly taking over that one railroad that's up there, or that one rail yard that's up there. And I didn't know it until I read the article at that point that that CSX had bought out Pan Am. I thought Pan Am was its own separate entity. Who do we still have on here? Beautiful. So we'll yep. Jordan, you still with me tonight? You still there? We'll get to you. We'll get to the questions. We'll get to your question for you too. Stick with us. And OJ, if you're watching, see the hat? That's old school right there. And again, those of you coming on or watching this stream and the playback, make sure you hit that like button, pass us along, and say hello. And if anybody comes in, here's a link to my PayPal page if you guys want to donate to my page and help anything out, so I can continue bringing you guys content and working on some things. And I did start to work on a t-shirt company. I found a design that I wanted and a color I wanted. I'm going to go basic. I designed one, but I can't get this design to get over to the store side. It's only on the one side, so it's only on the creator side. So I have to figure out if I can sell and make money on that side, or if that's just I'm making the shirt and here you go. But it's neat. It's like a turquoise blue shirt. That's what I'm going for right now. And then there's a train design right in the middle, and there's a little YouTube icon on the bottom of that design. But that's going to be my colors in my t-shirt right now. But I have to talk to them because I want to take that design and move it over. And once I can move it over, I can move it into, see if I can put it on women's clothing, kids clothing, and some sweatshirts and everything. And I can start selling hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts, and everything like that, and make a buck off of it very soon, or to help my page out. And if you guys want to buy that stuff once I can get it rolling, that'll be for you guys too. Help the page out. And whatever I donated to gets donated, it's going to help me travel to go see different museums. And maybe I could start doing some contests here and actually have some viable things that you guys can win to help out with the page. Did you notice the Amtrak 145 has been on the Keystone Corridor? Norfolk Southern, I have not. I haven't followed the Northeast Corridor at all. I know where it's at, but I don't follow it. I don't get down there. I don't get to see it, so I don't know what's coming in and out of that area. See, Yeti, nice and cold, cooler company. I'm trying. See if I can get some cooler advertisers. You know, Yeti, Ozark Trail, Igloo, Coleman, all these outdoor things. Can use them when I'm traveling and rail fanning or camping. I'm being smart right now. But yeah, I don't get down on the Northeast Corridor too much. I don't know that area very much, and some of the areas that it goes through, it's not that nice to go rail fanning unless you're with a bunch of people. Unless you guys know some other areas to go rail fan down there. Right now, I'm pretty much stuck to Valley Forge where I go, and Bettswood, which is right across the river from Valley Forge. And when I go up north, because that's where I'm from, it's Taylor Yard and following up the Poconos and Steamtown. Those are the areas that I like to go to and go check out. But hopefully next couple of weeks here, I can start having some t-shirts on everything. And I'm also looking into trying to start making some photos of mine and making a calendar and actually doing some calendars. If any of you guys would be interested in those, and try and make them up too. I start a little bit late, so I may start for December of this year, and it'll go till November of next year. You just won't have January. Just be a little bit later in the year. Just starting to figure out some different things now to work with the page. The job is doing well. It's some of the easiest work that I've ever had to do. It's a federal job, so I'm happy. Still keeping my EMT though, doing that job part-time as needed, but doing well. I got hired with the National Park Service at Valley Forge, so it's a whole new deal for me. I'm just trying to get back into it. But those are some of the future plans that I have for my YouTube page and my brand. I'm going to try and get it out there and see what we can do. Have to start spreading and getting these people, all these subscribers that I have, and have to start getting them more involved. But are you guys good on seeing the these broadtop steam locomotives there? All right, good. Moving on. Boom. Stop doing that one there. So, have any of you guys watched Sparky 107, 107's any of his stuff lately, or his last couple? Reason being, he put out this challenge, and I don't have any really good place to put up any trains, so I may put it up on the dining room table just to work on his challenge. But Sparky, he put out a challenge for cabooses. Run a full caboose train, just an engine and as many cabooses you can put on. And you do hashtag Sparky's Caboose Challenge 107 107. I think that's what it is. If it's not, we'll just run over to his page, and the challenge is right in the description. So probably in the next couple of days here, I'm going to put a circle around my table and get all my cabooses and run it around. And I'm going to do the Sparky 107 challenge. You guys want to go to his page, go check it out. Make sure you get the correct hashtag and do with your own stuff on your own page. Go for it. It just seems like something fun to do. Get all the cabooses together, see how many cabooses get put behind it, and throw an engine on and have some fun with it. I think that's how I'll do the challenge. Jerry did a challenge video tonight. Okay. Was that on the cabooses too? That was weird. My computer just made a funny sound. Jerry did a challenge video tonight. Oh, that was interesting. We don't need you up right now. So, this next little dilly that we have going on here. No, but it was not rail related. Okay. Yeah, if these guys do these challenges, just get up and do them. Have fun on your channel. Post them, do the hashtags, and put them out there. I know most of us all here follow Sparky. He's a pretty cool guy, and he's helped out a lot of channels and everything. He's also helping out people when they're trying to build their channel up. And something that he did before, and I'll tell you guys if you want to build your channel up now. YouTube last year got away from you can't click on the chat, the different people's chats anymore to go to their page. But at the bottom inside the videos where the comments are, in the comments section on the regular video when it's posted, you can still click on their icon there and go into their page. So the way that you do things is you click on somebody that you're not subscribed to, click on their icon, go in there, watch at least one or two of their videos, hit the like button on each one of those, and subscribe. YouTube's trying to get away from doing the sub for sub because it's actually illegal to their rules. So if you go in there and actually watch their videos, and if you're generally interested in their stuff, watch some more of them. Make sure you watch at least one or two of their videos, and then you subscribe to them, and hopefully they do the same back. So I challenge all of you guys on here and anybody that comes into the channel to watch this to do that. Click down in the comments on anybody's video. If you're not subscribed to somebody, click on them just like Sparky did. Click on them and become subscribers to them. Or watch a couple of their videos, and that's how I found out. By doing that, when you start subscribing to people, you find out some more people from different regions to get some different videos. One of the ones that I found was the Bat Kill or the Batter Kill Railroad. It's up in New York. They're a small little short line railroad, and they've got two or three RS3s up there that they run, and it's a pretty neat thing and something I want to go check out eventually when I can get on the road. When we can get on the road again and go up to New York or whatnot. But I found them by going to somebody's page, subscribing, and then looking down their comments, and you start getting the recommendations, and it just starts going tearing up, and just keep poking on somebody's page and roll with it. Well, Norfolk Southern, just do it the way that I just told you about doing it. Go on other people's pages, even going to my videos. I don't get a whole lot of comments like some other people, but go on there. If you're not subscribed to any of the people that I have in my comments, tap on them and watch their stuff, and just keep building your subscription base up. Now I'm showing I have 12,000 subscribers. As you can see, I've only got an average of 5 people here, and those 12,000 subscribers aren't watching us right now. It's called the Bat and Kill Railroad. Yeah, I believe it's the Bat and Kill. Let me check here a second. That's the Bat and Kill Railroad. They got some pretty neat stuff up there. Their one little town that it goes through is pretty neat. Now you'll see on some of the videos that people have posted, there's a engine there, an RS-36 painted in D&H colors. That is not their engine. That engine is on lease from a leasing company, and it's been primarily up in their area. But it's been run up there the last couple of months, and they've got a really neat there number 605. The coloration that is painted up in there, that RS3 that's a pretty neat locomotive too. But like I said, some of the towns that it goes through is actually pretty neat. It gives you that old time railroad feeling, or old railroad town feeling. But if you get to check them out, just put in Bat and Kill Railroad. I'll put them in there for you. And you'll get a bunch of videos popping up. And that's how I found the last couple of people that I went with. But let's move over to our next little story that we have here. Make sure I have the right one, and I do. So there's some things that have been getting moved around up in the with the Pennsylvania Northeast, and or with the Pennsylvania Northeast and the New Hope and Ivyland Railroad, which they're both the same company. What you see here in this picture, this is a C30-7. It was a 6-axle that they had, the New Hope and Ivyland had. The 5 years that I've been going up there and looking at this railroad, it's never been running. But I know before that time period, and even in that first year, it was running excursions. But after that, it was never running again. And this is the best picture I could get of it. It was always parked kind of in the middle right here. Well, last week, this engine, along with 2 former CSX B23-7s, were taken to a place called Emory, I think it is. And that locomotive is no more. It was met the scrapper's torch, and it is now scrapped. And I understand things are businesses. I understand that, so I can't go into things. Business is business. If you can't make money off it and it isn't worth fixing and nobody else wants to buy it, the best way to make money off it is to scrap it, and I fully understand that, and I'm not going to knock on any railroad or anything for doing that, but it is a piece of history that's gone now. And I don't think there's too many C30-7s left around. But that engine was you can see my little description there on the side, but it's a former CSST, a Louisville and Nashville, and a Seaboard Coastline engine. So it had a pretty decent history with it. But yeah, last Wednesday or Thursday, she met her fate. She met the torture. I don't know if any other locals are going to be going up there at all, but I know those 3 engines, they made quick work of them too. These big engines, it took them less than like 2 days to knock them down to nothing. That's amazing how, excuse me, on how fast they did that. You were going to tell me that, huh? I don't know how much they stripped off of it. I just found out the news last week, so I don't know what parts were taken off or what was left on it when they finally took it to torch. But I mean, this was sitting here. This was taken back in 2017, I believe, when I took this picture. Yeah, 2017, and she was still waxed up and really nice. It wasn't dirty or anything. Thought it was just sitting out for work, but they have work done on it, but it was actually going to the torch. But yeah, it's a C30-7. Gone. So we'll move along here. Move along. And keep on going here. There we go. This next one I want to show you. This is a article that I found. Actually, it was printed out. There it is. I posted this in my my forum last week. Make sure you have the sound up. But there's a steam locomotive that is being bought by the Colebrookdale Railroad. Let me see if it pops up for you guys here. There it is. And we should have the sound on, and I'll let you guys play it. I'll let you guys hear it.
Here at R.A. Green Park in Jackson's northwest side, locomotive 5030 has been out of commission for 60 years, but it is getting a new lease on life in Pennsylvania. The engine has a long, unique history.
So this engine was built in 1912 for the Grand Trunk Railroad. After that, it was used as a passenger train all the way through the 1920s. In 1923, it suffered an accident where it was derailed and killed 5 people. There were 5 people killed, with 2 of those of which being the engineers.
It was gifted to the city of Jackson in the late 1950s. The Colebrookdale Railroad Preservation Trust out of Boyertown, Pennsylvania, now owns the decommissioned train after purchasing it for $50,000. Jackson City Council approved the sale at a meeting on Tuesday, January 12th.
They said this offer was contingent on the city not putting more money into this, because we definitely don't have any funds to restore the train. We definitely don't have any extra funds for its removal.
The locomotive will eventually get back on the rails. Plans are to use it for tourist excursions in Pennsylvania.
It's really nice to see it kind of get back out and get some use. And I think it would be really nice to see it get restored and maybe even visit Jackson one day again.
Yet there's still work to do to get the train moving.
It's not going to be going away anytime soon. that railroad organization has to raise, I believe, $2 million to restore the train, but then also move the train, because it's not as simple as just putting it on the back of a truck. You actually have to build rail lines and connect it to a railroad to get it out of here.
It will take at least 5 years for the locomotive to be restored to working order. In Jackson, Joe Gebhardt, Fox 47 News.
What do you guys think about that one? Other steam locomotives being saved, even though it was already saved and preserved, sitting there in one of the parks. It's actually going to be coming up here to Colebrookdale, and like he's saying, probably about 5 years and everything, because of everything they have to do and the logistics to get it out of its current location to get it up here to Boyertown. But that'll be something neat. That railroad, Colebrookdale Railroad, if any of you guys get a chance to go up there, they've got a really nice organization there. They're continually building, improving the railroad. They're putting more passenger cars on the rails, and they're not just building them up with seats and everything. They're doing a lot of nice work on the inside. The woodwork on them, the finishes and everything on the inside, they're really elegant. They're nice. They're nice looking locomotives. But yeah, if you get to visit Boyertown and go see the Colebrookdale Railroad, I've been on it a few times. Get on up there and check it out. We've been on their fall one where they take you out and pretty much dump you off in the woods. There's a big bonfire out there. They give you hot dogs and they give you hot apple cider. And then they leave, and then they come back and pick you up, and you swap out groups. A new group comes in, and then you go. We were on a Valentine's Day dinner, myself and Anna with them. They served prime rib, and it was a really good meal. And then we just done some of their regular excursions that they have, and it's a really good organization. The ride is about an hour long round trip. They have a GP10 that's painted up really nice, and then they also have a former Norfolk Southern GP38-2 and a couple of Plymouth locomotives as well. That helps move things around, but they also move some freight around too. And that company has brought a lot of money into that town since they reopened and started running excursions again. In fact, there's a road up there they've completely shut down. The road is now part of the railroad, so they can do their work and other things that need to be done up there. But it's a really good organization, and it goes to show when you get a good group of people that know what they're doing, have a love for everything, and are able to get things done and show the initiative, they can help out a community quite a bit, because they get a lot of people up there. And they were running toward the end of this COVID thing. A lot of these railroads have been running toward the end of this COVID thing. And they're starting up again in May, I believe. I think they're doing Easter Bunny trips too. I'm not sure, but I have to check it out. A lot of companies I was just seeing now, a lot of their first weekends are going to be Easter weekend, which is pretty neat. I know the Westchester Railroad's going to be popping back up again. What's the other one? Just had it. Actually, they're going to have a visiting steam locomotive from the Ramblings, number 85, not the Ramblings. Number 85, the Jetto Coal Company little tank engine is going to be visiting and running a couple trains for them. It's not the Wanamaker in Southern. I forget who it is. But anyways, there's a bunch of railroads that are getting up and ready to roll for the Easter weekend. So the season is upon us, and hopefully I can get out there, and hopefully I can, this year I want to get down to Wilmington and Western and see the number 58 and see it rolling. So what else do you guys have for me tonight? Anybody have any questions for me? Anything you guys want to talk about tonight? Before we get going, get to the final part of this this live stream here. Oh, and a couple things that I'm doing just to show you guys. I bought these a while ago, and I'm finally getting around to working on them. They're Bowsers. I got 3 N5 cabooses. Now, I know a lot of my stuff is modern, but I wanted them because they had 3 separate road numbers to them. But I'm in the process of building this one right now. It's an N5 Conrail caboose, and I have 3 of them, and all 3 of them are 3 separate road numbers. I want to see if I can get all 3 of them done really quick, and I'll put them on a little train challenge that I'm going to do with Sparky with that little video. Wanted to show you guys that one. Got a drink out of my Yeti. All right, so how many people do we have in here watching? I'm going to move on to our little game tonight, our little trivia game. Now these are these are harder questions, so I may take you a little bit to get them. They're not going to be the symbols or anything like they were before. So I'm going to need a little bit of time to get some of these. That's when they start their Easter Bunny trains. Okay. Very good, very good. Midwest, you still on here? We had a couple people leave tonight. Well, Norfolk Southern, if we don't get a lot of people in here, I can't just have a one-sided game here. So might not do this trivia tonight. Might have to cancel everything I just set up to this point when it comes to the trivia. Little game here. But I did have a question for my niece Jordan. So Jordan, if you're still on here, here's your question. Don't anybody else answer this question. This question is for Jordan. So, you ready? The last car on the end of a train, what is it called? The last car on the end of a train, what is it called? Got to get it, Jordan. Very good. You got it. Yes, the last car on the end of a train is known as a caboose. And Jordan, you know what the caboose was used for? Back in the day, when trains ran with cabooses, which they don't anymore, they used to carry the brakeman, the trainman, in the back of the caboose. So basically, what they were used for is they were used to watch the end of the train. They can go out the side and look, go up in the top, up in the cupola, and watch the train to make sure everything is in line, not out of whack the way it's not. Make sure everything's running properly and nothing's off the track. And that's also where the crew and everybody slept. So another one of their jobs that they used to have to do is the old cars used to have the brake wheels on the tops of the trains. And if you look at some old box cars, look at some of the ones that you have or your dad has. There used to be walkways on the top of those box cars. So while the train's moving, to help stop the train, they used to have to walk across each car to turn those cranks to put the brakes on for the train, assist with the train with braking. And but yeah, that's what the caboose is for. It had the maintenance people and the trainmen and the brakemen and everybody. They all slept and rode back there to watch the train, maintain the train, and fix anything that needed to be fixed. And unfortunately, the most dangerous part, walk across the top of a moving train to try and take care of all the brakes and fix something on the fly, literally, if they had to. And one of the other things that these guys had to put up with is if they were coming to a tunnel, there used to be these wires that used to hang down from above, and probably good 50 to 100 feet before a train went into a tunnel. So if the brakeman was on there and he had his back to the tunnel, he'd hit these wires and it'll let him know to get down so he wasn't taken out by the bridge. So a little lesson there for caboose for you. They're no longer used on Class 1 railroads anymore. And some of the small lines or some of the locals you see them on, but they're not using the capacity that they were back in the days. Maybe they're used now as a buffer car or to possibly carry extra tools if they need them for moving things around, but not what they were intended for back in the day. Well, you don't need that many people on the trains anymore. And the trains back then, trains weren't that long, so they could see all the way up to the locomotive. Trains today, you can't see from the back of the train all the way up to the locomotive. So it really doesn't make sense anymore. And pretty much a train within everything that they have anymore. According to some railroads, you can operate and run a train with one person. And most of the time, it's two. It's the conductor and it's the engineer. But cabooses got phased out because of all the technology and everything that they have these days. You can detect if you have a train coming off the track. You can detect if you have a brake fail or a train goes into emergency. And they just didn't need the people in the back of the trains. Because remember, back then they weren't pulling 100-car freights like they are today. They're probably pulling at the most 20, 30 cars, give or take, around there. And the guys in the caboose could see all the way to the front of the engine. But Jordan, you got that question right. All right, so I'll ask some of the questions anyways, Norfolk Southern, since you're here. Matthew, Jordan, if you want to take a crack at them, watch through Google or whatnot, give it a shot. So first question, what is the distance between the railroad tracks called? So you got the tracks. What is the distance between the railroad tracks, the rails? What is that called? I hate the delay in this. There you go, the gauge. We have standard gauge and we have narrow gauge. All right, next one. Who was the famous person that died from exhaustion after competing with his hammer against a mechanical steam hammer to build track? Who was the famous person that died from exhaustion after competing with his hammer against a mechanical steam hammer to build track? He used to sing songs about him. Not going to take a crack at it, Norfolk? So, the famous man who passed away from exhaustion after competing with his hammer against a mechanical steam hammer to build track. You got half of it. Was John Henry. John Henry was a famous track layer from back in the day. John. Well, everybody, if nobody has anything else for me tonight, I'm going to get ready to wrap it up for us here tonight. Hopefully I can have some more news by next week. Johnny Cash did a lot of stuff about the railroad. Johnny Cash and Boxcar Willie, too. They sang a lot about the railroads. I remember the store that used to be in the Steamtown Mall, the Great Train Store. I worked there, and the tapes overhead used to play Johnny Cash and Boxcar Willie all the time. The Wabash Cannonball. Boom, boom, boom. All right, guys. I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. Thank you guys that did join me. Hope to see you all next Saturday at 8:30, unless something drastically comes up. But I will see you guys next Saturday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. But until then, guys, I will see you down the line. All right, guys, take care. Good night.